Alright, so now that our bird is going with gravity and we've got everything kind of working how we want to make it so that when the bird hits the pipes or hits the ground, the game is going to end. So to do that, let's go ahead and add a command. Or in this case, it's going to be more of an event. And we're just going to call it hit, meaning that it hits something. So since we added that, let's do save and compile. And now we need a box collider 2D and a rigid body 2D. We want to set the gravity scale to 0 because we've implemented our own gravity. And everything else looks good. So let's go into our actual bird view where we were before, and we want to add a Ontriggerenter 2D. So let's do that here. Public void Ontriggerenter 2D. Add our collider 2D. And what we're going to do here is simply check if not other game object is view. Now this is just a helper extension method on game object to let you know if it's of a specific type of view. And what we're going to do is pipe view. Execute hit. And we also need to check for. So what this means is that if it's the actual pipe view, then we don't want to execute hit. And this is because on our pipe view, the actual view that this lives on is our collider to see if the trigger's exited. Since this goes right through the middle of the vertical pipe, we don't want this trigger to cause anything. But if it's anything else, meaning the pipe underneath, which is this collider, excuse me, that was the pipe on top, and the pipe below, or even the ground, which we need to add our collider 2D to the ground as well. And that looks good. Let's hit apply. And we want to make sure all these are triggers. Let's go to our pipes and set the triggers on. And make sure it is on our pipe as well. So everything's a trigger. Alright. So now when we run into everything but the pipe view, it's going to call execute hit on our controller. So let's go ahead and open up that controller. Right click, open, bird controller. And let's override our hit method. And there it is, hit. And when it hits something, we want to say bird.state equals bird state.dead. And from here, we're going to access our game controller. And call the game over method. So this is our game over command. And based on our relationships in our diagram, uFrame goes ahead and wires up a property with the controller in it. It'll be initialized and set whenever the scene manager is loaded. So from this point, we can switch back into our game. Hit run. We click play. So if we get it just in time, it's a small bug. Fix in just a second. start running. So now when he hits something, the game's over. So we need to fix this so that when the game's over, the pipes are no longer moving. So let's go back to our pipe element and open up our pipe view. And let's go ahead and add a condition in there. If pipe dot parent angry flappers game state is equal to playing. So this means it's only going to be moving when it's playing. And then let's go back to our bird view. And we also don't want the bird to be falling unless it's playing. So let's do the same thing here. If it's not equal to playing. All right. Now let's try that again. Hit play. And there we go. I can click around. Double clicked. Alright, so now the bird, once we replay, the bird is no longer, it's stuck in the dead state. So we need to add the code to reset that bird state. So we're going to go to our Angry Flappers game and open our controller. And whenever we play here, let's do Angry Flappers game dot bird dot state equals alive. And let's try that again. Click to play. Let's just die it off here. Alright, now we got it replaying. Okay, so how good is a game without a score? So we added the past, if we go to the pipe, we have this pass command. And we open up that view on trigger exit 2D, which is this trigger. So whenever it goes outside of this and calls execute pass, we need to implement that method. So let's go into our pipe controller. Let's override passed. And from here, we can do pipe.parent angry flappers game .score ++. So we add the score. But right now, we don't have anything that updates the score in the game. So what we need to do is go to our Angry Flappers game, drill in, and in our game view, we need to add a new binding. And let's do score changed. Alright. Let's hit save and compile. Let's reopen that view. Now we have the method score changed. So let's add our two properties for our GUI text and call it score label. And then let's add another one for final score label. And in our score changed, let's set those text values. To the value. And then I'm just going to duplicate that line and do the same thing for our final score label. And I'm going to do this here rather than when a state changes. Even though it's not visible, it'll always have it up to date, so when it is visible, they'll see what the final score is. So let's say final score. All right. I think we're good to go there. Switch back. And now we just need to apply our score label and final score label. So when that score changes, it'll properly update them. So that's on our game over display. Just drag that into our final score label. Then on our HUD display, drag the score label over to score label. Alright, now when we run, we have a complete game. You can see the score is adding as we pass through it. View. Final score is 4. We can keep playing and playing and playing. And like I said, I am horrible at this game. I don't think I've gotten a score ever over 11. Alright, that concludes this tutorial, and thanks for watching. There will be a lot more very soon that can show you a lot more features that really makes game development easy with uFrame. Thanks for watching.